Hello class, it's Dr. Ogilvy, and I'm going to log in as a student to give you a tour of the course website to give you a heads up. And so I'm logging in with my student account and my password. And then when I click on login, I'm taken to the Blackboard page where I can access multiple things, but I just want to click on courses. And then the course that we're interested in here is the fall 2020. Now, when you enter the course now, the last few days, you've entered the course at the syllabus is scheduled. Now it's the welcome page. And when you get to that welcome page, you can see that there are multiple sections. Right now we have people enrolled in J10 for undergraduate at Columbia and J50. The course is available all over the state of South Carolina at the various campuses, but so far we don't have any enrolled in those other campuses. Now, I really urge you, the very first thing you do when you come in here, watch this informal video that I made recently that's going to give you the context and perspective for the histology. It's about 26 minutes long, and I think it's very worthwhile watching. I'm attempting to give you a background and give you the understanding so you can approach histology informed. And then when you finish watching that video, do download this PDF of a article that's mentioned at the end of the video, and it's Once Upon a Microscope Slide, the Story of Histology. It was published in 2015 in a journal, and it gives you more details about perspective and history, as well as bringing you up to date on how histology is being taught in a number of institutions, undergraduate and medical schools and dental schools today. So then I'm making now a tour of the course website, and that link is going to be put right here where it says video coming soon. So just below that, you have a chance to open up the rest of this welcome page in another window, or open it up and then save it as a PDF, open it on your computer, because you've got a number of steps to go through. And also here's another PDF. Now it's several pages long. Actually, if you just read the first page on what a former TA says about the course and how to succeed, and what students who have taken the course that perform well. It's very worthwhile reading, and I'll be reminding you in a second bulletin in the course. I always do after a few days of the course starts, to try to get you into the rhythm of the course. But now you need to execute these tasks. I'm not going to go over them. You can do that yourself. I just want to emphasize at the end here, after you've gone through 1 through 8, then I suggest that you do the required steps or actions that are absolutely necessary for you to proceed in the course. And ideally, you should do this by Monday, August the 24th. I'm allowing until Friday, August 28th, for those that may come in the course late, or for some reason you may not be able to finish it, but it's not advisable really to wait after August 24th to take the syllabus quiz and to take the 2 sample quizzes, and I'm going to show you where those are in a minute, and also mark the email check-in page reviewed. Now, and about maybe almost a half of the class that's enrolled has already marked this page reviewed. But until you do those 3 actions, you're not going to be able to visualize any of the folders. Now, I'm going to go to module quizzes exam folder, and you'll see that you won't see any quizzes after that. I'm going to go to the module folders, and you won't see any of the module folders. Okay, so we go up to the menu item, And as a student now, I'm clicking on course modules. You've got the information about the course modules, and you're reminded again to do those 3 steps. Take the syllabus quiz, mark the email check page reviewed, and take the sample test. So now below this, you see, and we remind you again, just make sure you understand, so none of those folders will open up. Now in a few moments, I'm going to go through those steps, and then you'll see how they open up. So if I go now to the module quizzes and exams folder, there's information about those. You've got a word list here. You've got the syllabus quiz now that is open to take, and then you're reminded once again, you will not see the module quizzes, midterm, and exam folders below here before you take those steps. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up and I'm going to click on the email check, and I'm going to mark it reviewed. That's the first step. Now I'm going to go to the quiz and exam information where the sample quizzes are, and I'm just going to click on those and answer one question, and actually I've taken one attempt, so start a new admission. So I would just click on the first question, save the answer, save and submit, and that means that I fulfilled that responsibility. So I will say OK there, and then I'm going to go to the syllabus quiz, which is at the module quizzes and exam folder, and that is right here. And I'll click on that and begin. And there's 36 questions here. And the reason we give you a syllabus quiz is we want you to read the syllabus. And the syllabus is very detailed, but if you read through it and you keep referring to it, you will be rewarded with understanding how to proceed. So I'm just going to, where can you access web, mic, and video tour demonstrating it works? Well, that's under the lab resources. So I'll just save the answer to that, save and submit. I do not recommend that you only answer one question. Take the whole test, because you can earn up to 25 points, and these are not extra credit points. These are points toward your final grade. Now, speaking of extra credit, you see if you click the email check page reviewed, that's 10 points extra credit. If you introduce yourself, it's 10 points extra credit. And then if we go to those, I think I only took one sample quiz. So I need to go and take the other one and do that. And so begin. And I'll just, now we give you some images here so that you can get a feel for the images. You have to type in the answer, but you have 3 attempts. And you can see the correct answer afterwards. This is just steps we want you to go through to get familiar with how we ask questions and give you an idea of the detail expected. So this is a low power and a high power of a specimen. And we want you to identify the specimen. A screen capture, and so we're going to identify that as stomach. And I see I need to modify the question on that, because we really didn't say to identify that specimen. I'm going to take care of that a little later. So save the answer. Okay, I did answer it. Oh, it's this one up here. It's saved. So save and submit. And so once I've done all that, now let's see if it works. So I'm going to go to the module and quiz exam folders. And you see now my module quiz folders are open. And each of those module quiz folders are going to contain, for example, the first quiz here, I've got to mark this reviewed. And then when the quiz opens, and it's not set to open until the Monday the 24th, which is really the time that we begin that module. But I think I'm going to open these earlier in case people want to start earlier. But I don't think anybody's going to be able to take the the quiz until you've studied, which is probably a week or so after the course starts. Okay, but anyway, we put these in here so that you will find this. So I just went to my administrative access, and I made these quizzes available right now. I just wanted you to see what would happen when you reach there and the quizzes are available and you click reviewed, and then they appear right below that. Okay. So now I just went in and made them unavailable. So that's the way it will look for you. So let's go now to the module folders and to the modules. And then you see the module folders because I've taken the syllabus quiz, I marked the course email check page reviewed, and I've taken the 2 sample tests. And those sample tests also earn extra credit. So right off at the beginning of the course, you can earn 10, 20, 30, 40 points extra credit. I like to think that that's like money in the bank. I like to give students some extra credit at the beginning so you have some things to work with because you're all going to struggle here at the beginning. And then during the course, I don't promise more extra credit, but often I will offer surveys and other opportunities to earn some more extra credit. I never make that extra credit more than 10% of the grade, which would be 100 points toward out of 1,000. But any extra credit is not counted within the 1,000 points, or for graduate student 1,100 points. Now, when you come to the first module, which is August 20th through September the 7th, you will see the assignments that you'll go through in that module, and you also can download the learning outcomes that you will be working toward during that module. And that's the case for every module folder. And then the lectures are within here. Now, right now, there's no lectures to display, but I'm going to make those visible right now so you can see what that would look like. Okay, so now all of the lectures for Module 1 are visible and accessible, and there are 2 venues for the lectures. When it says watch lecture number 1, if you click on that, and then you will get another window, and you click to launch the lesson, and then in another floating window that you can retrieve in Adobe Presenter, you will see the narrated lecture. Now, these lectures have been converted to HTML5, so they're not blocked by security in browser with Flash. And so sometimes you have to click a couple times on the play.
These are the
and then you have to go back, and then it will begin.
Presents the steps that are necessary to prepare tissue.
And as you go through each lecture, you'll have these entry pages and the learning outcomes.
Each of the
but then you'll have the topics,
hyperlinked to the first slide,
and you can click on a hyperlink and then go back to
each of the
thing. So I'm not going to go any more with that, except for at the end,
you can jump to any topic.
We can click forward to the end. I'm going to pause this till I get to the end. Well, there's another way I can get to the end, and I might as well show you that, because when you're viewing the lecture, everything that I'm saying is over here and printed, and it's in the PDF that I'll show you. You can also search on any term that might be in the lecture and find the slide that's on that lecture. You can get the thumbnails or an outline. So if I say the thumbnails and I go all to the end and I find the quiz, it's right here. So now I'll be able to show you the quiz. And what you do, you go through and you answer these questions. And in this H&E stained specimen, the structure indicated by the arrow is basophilic. Well, it is basophilic, and that's one of the things you would have learned in the lecture. And so when you submit that, if you're correct, you can proceed. If you're incorrect, you can't, like acidophilic structures in tissue specimen are attracted to which of the following dyes. Well, phily means I love or I prefer. So I prefer acid. So it's going to be acidic, but I'm going to click basic, and that will be incorrect. So I try again, put acidic, and then, so you have to answer every question correctly, And then when you get to the very end, you'll hit submit, and then you'll come out of this, and it'll be a check mark, and I will know that you've actually gone to the lecture and answered all the questions successfully and submitted it. Now, I don't give you any points for this, but I do check because it's extremely important that you take the time, whether you like it or not, and watch and view all the lectures and take the quizzes. That's just a part of the learning process that will be successful in the course. Believe me, it works, and all my former students who have done well do this. So I'm going to go out of this now, and I'm going to go back, and for every lecture you get a PDF that you can download, and it has all the slides that were there that were dynamic, and then you have the text of what I say in the lecture right beside. I do not give you the quiz questions and the answers at the end. That is something you must do interactively in the narrated lecture. Okay, so what have we done? I've started, let's go back on this. I started out on the course bulletin page up here, and that's the default page. I urged you to watch this perspective lecture of 26 minutes. I suggest that you download and read at some point early in the course this story of histology, and also to watch this video that I'm going to link right here when I get this video made. And then open up this page in a separate window or download it so you can then have the same text that you have right here, and you can use that then to go wander through the course and do things. Now, also explore the outside resources. We have a glossary of terms. It's not comprehensive, but it's a beginning. But let me say this. There are all kinds of search engines. Google, Bing, others that I probably don't know about, that you know about, you use all the time. In any histological term, if you are not learning what it is in lecture, you're confused and whatever, just Google it. Because, and especially if you find a wiki on it, but on most terms, histological terms, you can find the definition of if you're confused. And then we give you other, even color deficiency. You can learn, even if you have a deficiency in color. Almost nobody is colorblind. That is a very rare condition. Most, and especially males, are blue-green and kind of cannot recognize a number if it's in green on a background of blue. But you can read about this, and also I give you an example of American flag and different color deficiencies. But also this, I give you a PDF of one of the black and white histology texts that I have on my shelf. And in that one, it talks a little bit about here the color, and you can see this is cartilage. And histology has shape and form and size and relationship. And the color does help, but you can learn without the color. And I suggest if you feel you're struggling with the color, just post on the discussion board or send me an email. I'll do everything I can to help you. Okay, so I think that's about all. I think I even have a section on test anxiety and ways to enhance and reinforce your learning for graduate students. You've got the special requirements, and I'm listed in the graduate student group, so therefore I have access to this folder, but the undergraduate students in the class will not have access to it. So this is just about 20 minutes long, and I really wish you every success in the course. And I would say, as you have time, get started in the course even before the official beginning of the semester. So I'm going to open everything up pretty much today. That's Sunday, August the 16th. So good luck, and I'll see you in the course.